In this video, we will discuss about ERP system. Actually, ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. Now, for every enterprise, it is very important to manage the different resources in an enterprise. So, in the previous videos, we have discussed that in an enterprise, there will be an inbound, a process or a production, and outbound. And different stages in this, that is inbound and production and outbound, it has to go through many of the departments. So you can see on in the diagram a typical ERP system model and the relationship among those it is displaying. So if you just recall that diagram, so here the first section what we called is inbound, where we collect the raw material from the supplier. So this section is called as a inbound, and what goes out, that is what we call it as a outbound. Now this is inbound and this is outbound. In between there comes enterprise. Okay, so in an enterprise, see here the enterprise performance measurement system is actually measuring what is the need of a enterprise, and certain business plannings are planned, and accordingly the decision support system, that is the DSS, we know that it will take some or it will provide some support for the enterprise. Now we will just go through this. So we know that when we discussed about this enterprise graining, we discussed about two concepts, that is see here we have to concentrate on a supply chain. One is the internal supply chain, which will be within the enterprise. So what is that, we will discuss one by one. And the total supply chain, it is between the supplier or a vendor, what we call, and the customer for whom our products are delivered. Now exactly what is the ERP system, we have to understand here. Actually ERP system is a software. There is a concept called as a SAP, System Administration Program. So that is becoming very popular nowadays, and it includes the ERP system. Now here in the diagram you can see the different modules. So when I say the term module, it will be difficult for you guys to understand. Actually modules are softwares. Actually ERP system nowadays, in olden days it was manually maintained. Now ERP system has a management IS software and different database types, and or actually ERP system, it covers many concepts such as environmental management IS software. It covers different data types and also organizational functions. Let us clarify this, what is meant by this. Okay, now here first let us understand what is the information system. Whatever the internal data flow is taking place in an enterprise, which is transformed into information, and that is what we call it as the information system. We also call it as a management information system, which is needed for managing the enterprise. Now if you look into this diagram, so different softwares will be available, such as engineering, MRP, marketing, DRP and logistics, after sales services, finance and accounting, human resources and purchasing. Now let us go with the enterprise, how it deals. We will try to understand how the enterprise organization will be set up. Now we will take one example here. Actually about ERP system, not much of the discussion is given in your textbook, but I want to explain this ERP system. Otherwise what happens, if you don't understand the ERP system, you cannot understand what is IS or what is a green IT or a green IS. Internally, how the enterprise works, that we have to understand, and that overview will be given by this ERP software. And you can see here in the block diagram, there are different sections which I have just marked. Correct. We will start from the beginning. Suppose assume that if you want to manufacture any product in an enterprise, you consider any of the say you are taking one vehicle manufacturing company. What are the requirements there? So many things, right? If you manufacture the bike, it will have a bike visor at the front, engine will be there, chassis will be there. Correct. Like that, some parts are manufactured within an enterprise and some raw materials are borrowed from the vendors or suppliers. So prominent suppliers will be always in connection with the enterprise. They will be having the chain or a contact of their own suppliers. So here when it comes to the green concept, it becomes very essential to understand what type of green initiative will be taken by the supplier and what type of material they are providing. That information is essential. And also here in ERP system, so we'll come back to ERP system. You just look into this. So we will start from the beginning. Suppose assume that some supplier is supplying you material. So maintain that you will be having a separate purchase software which is managed by the purchase department. Correct. Then engineering section. So engineering related information is managed in the engineering related software. Then material requirement planning. See, if any raw materials are needed, so MRP means material requirement planning. So here the material requirement plannings are done and it is given to the purchasing department, where the based on the requirement of the material for the production, the purchase will be done, means purchase orders will be set up and it is sent to the suppliers. So what is the need of the enterprise, that is decided. After that, once this is these are, see here, all these are linked to information system. So this also we can call it as a MIS, management information system. Actually whole enterprise runs on this information system. Suppose assume that the raw materials are having a shortage. Correct. If the MRP is not working properly, the production will stop. So the MRP software or MRP department has to work in such a way that it should give the right information for the purchase department so that the timely procurement of the raw material should be taken place. So this is actually the company and company management system or environment resource planning system. So after the requirements are fulfilled, it is given for the production. So we know that first inbound, outbound, and in between what it comes. So we have already discussed this. That is a production where fabrication or assembling, disassembling, these things are done. And actually what is the need of that? So based on that, the requirement of the productions are decided and its information is sent to the MRP and it is sent to the purchase department. So here what we have to see here, it is not the requirement. What the production department is asking for, it is asking or it is providing the information to the management material requirement planning section so that this material should be procured, and that information is passed to the purchasing department. That is why the information is key factor in an enterprise. After the production, that product needs to be sold, so that is managed by production department. Correct. So production marketing department, and that marketing data also is kept. See, whatever these blocks we are indicating here, these are all softwares. These are all softwares, or we can call it as a modules in a software, a part of a software. Each it will be a ERP system will be a complete software, and this will be part of that ERP system. So marketing section will manage this marketing software. Then DRP and logistics. So whatever the production is done, it should be sent to the customer, and it is managed by the DRP and the logistics system. Then for procurement of the raw material, you need a finance. So that is managed by the finance and accounting system. And there will be employees in an enterprise. the details of the employee, their salary, their bonus, and whatever is there, that needs to be managed. That is managed by the human resource section in an enterprise. And after the product is sold, we know that if you have purchased a mobile or a TV or a laptop, if any problem comes with that, it is quite possible, that electronic equipment can be, it is what you can say is, can have a problems in, so service is needed. So if you go and purchase one a laptop, so what they will say, you register to Dell or Lenovo, whatever the company from which you are purchasing. So that if you are registered with the company, so what is that registration? That is your information, you are providing it to the enterprise. Correct. So your information is managed so that they can come to know whether he is a customer from for their product or not. So that is also an information. So in general, if I have to say, ERP is based on information, and total management of the enterprise is done by the enterprise resource planning system, and it's a software. Now what we have to understand, or what we have to understand in this one is, we have to adopt green initiative. Means when we purchase, when we sell, when we give a service, when we buy back the products and all, as an enterprise, so they have to maintain the green initiatives. That is what is the concept here. ERP system is already existing. In ERP system, we have to maintain the green initiative. So how this is done, what are the positives, what are the negatives, let us discuss.